This afternoon, we have two sessions advertised, one of which is related to Somerset TV, and the other is related to Best of the Southwest films. So what we're going to do, because we are really late, we're going to conflate the two sessions and kind of run them as one. So welcome to Somerset TV, followed by a screening of some really good work, which you may be interested in seeing. And I know that we invited film societies and exhibitors to come along today, and at very least there is one present, sitting right very close to me, Juliette McClay from Axbridge.
The Axbridge Roxy.
The Axbridge Roxy. And do you want to just say two things about it, and that'd be great.
The Roxy is the smallest functioning cinema in England at 30 seats and a snogging sofa. We've been going for 4 years but haven't really attended many of these sessions, although I did go to one before we ever started, partly because it's taken all our efforts and two gratefully awarded lottery grants to get us this far. We're under construction at the minute to complete it. We are in fact a film society, but with a difference, because most film societies, as you're probably aware, involve lots of volunteers putting chairs together in town halls and screening films. We didn't want that. We wanted to be an actual cinema. And thanks to Colston Hall's refurbishment, we've got the seats and everything. And the style ranges from an Art Nouveau box office area through to a 30s cinema space and a 50s cocktail bar in the back. And we're just completing full disabled access. So by 28th of January, we'll be complete. And we would now like to really reach out to the local community and start showing local films. I've got my programmes here. I may have to leave before the end of this session, but I would love to talk to anyone who has films that we could showcase, either as a short in front of our features, or I'd like to do regular Somerset film slots in the year. We're becoming quite well known, so although it's the tiniest cinema in the universe, it still attracts a bit of attention. I don't have business cards, but our regular programme here has my address, which is it's in my house, this thing. My address and telephone number on it if anyone would like to contact me. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Well, and I've been up there and seen it in its early stages, and it is really worth seeing. So thank you very much, Juliette. And the leaflets are here on the table, and Juliette will be around for a while, but has to leave before the end of the session. So, okay, let's talk about local TV first. Some people may know that through the Engine Room, we're affiliated to the Community Media Association, and indeed I've been chair of the council of that organisation for the last 6 years. And we are a national organisation that promotes community media, predominantly community radio, but increasingly different forms of television and visual image as well. And so we've been promoting the idea that there should be community television, community and local television on Freeview, on Channel 8 on Freeview, that wherever you are in the country, you go to Channel 8 and there's a local service. And the coalition government, through Jeremy Hunt, the culture secretary, has bought into that idea, well, to a very large extent, although unfortunately they're wedded to a transmission model, which would actually make it pretty difficult for us to do it here in Somerset. We haven't given up on that yet, and we're still pursuing the idea that we'll be able to get Somerset TV off the local Mendip mast, and there aren't really any reasons why that shouldn't be the case, were it not for the sort of intransigence of certain institutions up the line who have sort of made life difficult for it. But you never know, that might still happen. But in the meantime, there's obviously online, and we're pursuing that as well. And we've met up with and formed a relationship with a company in Monmouth called Mon TV, and this is there. I don't know if anyone's near the lights, but if someone could hit the two buttons on the two circular wheels going back. Mon TV is an online service in Monmouth that's generated something like, I think, 2 to 3 million, I forget the exact figure, but it's between 2 and 3 million visits in its first 2 years of operation. And it's a simple kind of YouTube platform that aggregates content. Instead of like YouTube, if you like the net, YouTube, Facebook, other social media, aggregate content around individuals. I have a Facebook, well I don't, but many people have a Facebook page, many people have a Twitter account, and it's about you as a person. But increasingly what people are using the net to do now is to aggregate content around a locality. And Mon TV is an example of that. I'll just go to their site, and what happens when you go to their site is that it immediately plays their introductory video, which is quite good, and gives you a flavour of what it's about. Except we've not got the sound on, that's because we turned it off. That's it.
Welcome to Mon TV, your very own local TV channel. It's online, so you can watch it on your computer or on your mobile.
It's the place to go for your local news, sport, events and music.
And for you to upload your own films.
Be shot on your mobile.
Or your own home camera. From Tinton to Savannah.
From Monmouth to Chepstow, Hereford to Ross-on-Wye.
From Abergavenny to Llandovery.
From Clyford to Chepstow.
With Mon TV, you're the story.
Get local at Mon TV.
Switch on to Mon TV.
So okay, and you'll see there a reference to the local TV network, your local TV network. I mean, Mon TV, this is two guys, Carlos Reba and Richard Waterston, that have set it up over there, and they're great people. And they're not the only people. I mean, there's people doing local TV in lots of different ways online around the country, or in, not I say lots, there are some other examples going on. There's one up in Helensburgh in Scotland called URTV, letter U, letter R TV, which is worth looking at. It's another model, but is very successful. Yeah.
Did you know there's one in Weston?
There is one in Weston, that's right.
Weston Super TV.
Weston Super TV, yeah, indeed. Yeah, they're up and running too. Different business models. Weston Super TV is a bit like URTV in Helensburgh, in that I think it kind of has a core professional team.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm wrong about this, but my understanding, they make content, but it is very much, geared towards the local community, and they're looking for advertising to pay for it. And I think in the case of UR, I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably quite a tough call for them, but they're both making it work. Whereas with Mon TV, this was really launched originally on the back of some European training money. So what they did was they said, let's have a local TV station, we'll train you in how to make your films. So teams went out and learnt how to do the news, learnt how to do the weather, learnt how to make short feature documentaries, etc., or cover a sports match, a football match. And they've gone on working as teams. And I think they use Facebook. I think behind this there's a Facebook family of people contacting each other and working together to generate content. So no one's paid to generate the content on Mon TV. But they are beginning now, as the European money has long gone, they're beginning to take some advertising. And I think the way that works is, let's try and see if we find one.
If you run the weather ad
That's down below somewhere, is it?
Yeah,
the weather?
Somewhere. The weather we watched yesterday started with, there it is.
Oh, yeah. The weather is on Mon TV is a bit of a cult watch. Let's see.
So if you click close ad, then actually it starts with another ad.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kindy and I'm the owner of the Chepstow Cosmetic Clinic. We're right here in St Mary Street in Chepstow. We provide a range of the most popular cosmetic treatments to enhance your appearance, including injection treatments for lines and wrinkles and minor surgical procedures to remove moles and other blemishes using the latest regulated technology.
I would recommend Dr. Kindy to anyone.
Come and see me for a free consultation and I'll be delighted to help you.
It's quite cool though, the way at the top it says, it gives you the time that you know you're going to have to sit through the ad.
Hello and welcome to the Weekly Weather with me, Sarah.
And there's also a way of skipping out of it altogether and going straight through. So you don't have to watch the ads, but they're not too painful, and somehow having that descending clock there helps you sort of accept that it's not actually a big slice of time you're going to have to sit there. So this is Mon TV. Now what we're doing is we have basically got a contract with them, a very friendly, low, not a lot of money involved in this contract, but we've basically set up a deal with them whereby we can have a front end that looks like, and hopefully it'll be on this other tab, will it? There it is, Somerset TV. Now this is only very much a sketch at the moment, and you'll see on the right there, there's a load of films, all of which were made one way or another here. So the idea is that this isn't Somerset Film TV. I mean, it looks a bit like it now because they're all our films, but actually the idea is that our pitch to the general public, and this is not the pitch today because this is you as sort of people working in film or interested in film, is that here is a blank canvas, come and help us fill it with your content and we will offer you training. So we have some training dates set up, some initial training dates in January, when on the first occasion, and I can actually give you the dates, on the first occasion we'll be training apprentices from local businesses. We got some money from the county on the basis that we would do that. That's the 12th of January. And then on the 26th of January there'll be an open one for members of the community to come. And we'll be doing sessions that will be familiar to many of you here, which will be kind of, this is how you make a simple film, this is how you tell a simple story, here's the techniques to make sure you don't go too far wrong and that you remember to record your sound correctly and all of that. So, and we will gradually populate this space with, we hope, generate material. We ran a workshop yesterday with the first year students from the college, and incidentally, the guys filming this, the guys and ladies filming this today are from the college, Bridgewater College, the foundation degree, the new foundation degree. Thank you guys for doing a great job, continuing to do a great job. But yesterday we had the first years here and we worked with them to generate some dummy material, pilot material for the site. The brief was to try and make something that could be the equivalent of, but not a clone of, the Mon TV video, which I actually really like, having watched it numerous times, because to me that's got the right combination of a professional edit and driving music, which all sounds good, but actually it sort of looks very accessible and easy. It's actually not quite as easy as it looks, as we all discovered yesterday. But
Have them on Drive if you want to see them.
Yeah, we do. We might not need to do that right now, but take too long to set it up. But we did do that yesterday, and we will be going back to that material and using it. But essentially, this is the plan, and then down the bottom you'll see there are those tabs there, latest, most viewed, highest rated, a bit like YouTube, featured categories. But there can be other tabs, and there will be other tabs. So for example, there could be a town tab. So you go to Axbridge, or you go to Bridgewater, or you go to Minehead, and there's the content that's being generated from that town. Now, we know that Weston's already been mentioned. There's a guy planning to do a station up in Cheddar, and I'm not sure how much support he's got, how many more of him there are other than the one that I've seen the email from, but he's certainly planning to set something up in Cheddar, and that's great because we're not in competition with him. We would like him to put, as well as having his own site, to make his material available through Somerset TV. This is not about competition at all. It's about trying to generate more awareness of film material, but also give people a voice. So it's about using community media as a tool for engagement, as a tool for promoting our county, promoting businesses within the county, promoting cultural activity, etc., all the multitude of things that it can be used for. So this is really today just to tell you about it and to ask you questions. It's not there as a sort of, as I've already said, it's not there to promote Somerset Film, to say, look at all the great films we make. But of course, in the fullness of time, we'd like to have a category on there. We'd like to have a tab on there so people can see what we're doing, and we would hope that some of you might want to be involved in the same way, and get your organisations on there, or get your work on there in one way or another. And that is kind of, is Deb at the back there somewhere?
No, I'm here.
Oh yeah, there. That's kind of the broad brush, isn't it? What have I left out, Deb, would you say?
Sorry, I was tweeting
Yeah.
some of the things you were saying as well, so I might have missed this. Have you talked about the possibility of having the sort of the news headlines top than the radio?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Mon template, and this is just basically the same thing with Somerset, in a slightly different thing. But this is going to develop, and two of the things we've already asked them for is to have the ability to upload podcasting, so that we can, as unlike YouTube, you can have just an audio, you can have audio files on there. So to tie in more with the community radio stations that exist in Somerset. Not just the community radio stations, but we know there's one in Glastonbury and there's one in Wiveliscombe, and there hopefully will be more. There's one in Frome, got a licence now. They're broadcasting on FM, but they're also online, but we can be taking material from them. And we've also talked about there being a scrolling text feed on there, so that we can put headlines up, which might be local news, might be, I don't know. It's a journey we're on with this. Now, if you want to upload something, I'll just finish my little trajectory and answer your point. If you want to upload, it's free, just like YouTube. What will happen is you upload it, and we will look at it, and then, assuming it's within the limits of taste and decency, we will put it on the site. If the idea is that the material has some relevance to people living and working in Somerset, I mean, that's part of our learning curve, is going to be, what do we do when we get the video of someone's kitten playing delightfully with a ball of wool? Maybe that's a category, for personal films or something. I don't know how we deal with that. We've yet to find out what people are going to give us. But certainly the look and feel of Mon TV is that the stuff is of interest beyond the cute and cuddly, and very personal. And I'm not sure, I actually don't know how they've dealt with that, but we're going to learn as we go along. I think the two things can coexist happily, we're hoping. There's no limit to how, the value of doing it with Mon is that they've got a really robust platform here that can take a lot of viewers at one time, and all the footage will be stored on an Amazon account, on what they call an S3 account, which is our own account, and that's limitless. So there's no limit to how much stuff can go up there, no limit really to how many people can view it at once. Subject to broadband speeds, if everyone in a small village with low broadband capacity decided to watch the news at the same time, then probably they'd all slow down.
Well, supposedly with S3, it's a distributed model, so it should expand according to how busy, how much traffic you've got.
That's interesting, yeah.
That's the sort of the main strength of it, is that so hopefully
that'll work.
Well, that's it. If they stick the video in RAM, it gets cached in RAM, on the server somewhere, and then lots of servers can, even a crappy server can sometimes process thousands of web requests a second, so it may not be a problem.
So it's free to upload. That's really helpful. It's free to upload, and it's free to view, just like YouTube. But I think two thoughts, and I know we've got 2 questions now waiting, but just general stuff. Behind that, we will be creating an environment in which people can communicate with one another specifically about the thing. So you could say, I'm going on a shoot this weekend, I'm going to do the weather this week, and anyone around to do sound, for example, is the kind of thing I imagine might go up on Facebook. Lots of people out there making all sorts of stuff all the time now, but there isn't anywhere to put it. This is somewhere to put it that's local, and I'm very excited about the potential of it and where it might go. Point from the back.
Yeah, cool. I just want to be clear, what's hosting the video? Is it a YouTube account behind it or not?
No.
It's not?
No.
Can I just step in there?
Yeah.
The point I was going to raise is at the moment, I believe the films are going to be 100 megabyte limit. So, and it's based on MPEG-4, not Flash, like YouTube. And YouTube at the moment is 15 minutes or unlimited length if you've got a 2 gig file. So 2 gigabytes is the file limit. Now, that means you can use high definition and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is going to be standard def, 1024 by 576, 100 megabytes. Effectively, they want a data rate of 1,000 kilobits a second. So that's your limits, basically, so far. So if you can keep it to, if you want to make it heavily compressed, you could have a longer film, less compressed, a shorter film, as long as it's 100 megabytes or less.
And what's 100 megabytes in time worth?
Well, look, when I used to, when I used to start uploading to YouTube, 10 minutes was 100 megabytes if you were encoding at about 1,000 kilobits a second. So that's roughly, 10 megabytes being 1 minute video. And that's how YouTube used to be. And this is roughly how we're kicking off with what YouTube kind of was, really, back when you started creating accounts. So, yeah, in terms of techie stuff, it's worth knowing that when you encode your video, if you can get it under 100 megabytes, that's fine. But if you scrunch the data rate too low, though you get a 20-minute film up there, it might start to look a bit pixely. So I don't think there's a limit of length. I think it's just a 100 megabyte thing.
Yeah. So this isn't going to be the showcase for your 3D project in HD, but it's a start basically.
But you could put the 3D film up there. I mean, you can make them small like that. As long as it's under 100 megabytes, then that's possible. But
okay.
But it depends whether everybody can watch it.
Yes.
That's the question.
That's the bit of the matter.
Sorry, can I add one other thing? You can see YouTube branding on this clip. All of these videos are on YouTube, and when you create your account and sign in, you can do the two things. You can either embed a YouTube clip in here,
right,
or you can upload your 100 megabyte file. So if you are going to stick the link in, then up pops the film from YouTube. And what Mon TV were a little bit they were saying, well, maybe it doesn't look so good if you've got the YouTube branding on your website. And I said, well, a lot of people don't mind that. So yes, you could still use YouTube. And when you click upload, you don't actually give them a file, you just put in the link to your film on YouTube, and it embeds it in here.
I don't want to dwell on my particular special interest, but the thing about YouTube is that you can upload a 3D video, and then the viewer can turn the 3D off and watch it as 2D. So this is why my interest is whether you can embed a YouTube film in there.
And you can. So yeah, that's good.
That was fine.
Yes. So this is very much a starting point, and broadband speeds are going to increase, and technology moves on, and who knows where it will go. I mean, obviously, we're much more interested in. This is a platform for participation and engagement. It's not really a platform for the show reel, but having said that, there's nothing to stop you putting your show reel on it, and people will, and we hope they will. What we're not keen to do is to fill it straight away with a load of filmmakers' show reels, because I think that will give it a flavour which is not where we want to go. But we hope that you will want to support it and kind of be part of that bigger family as it goes forward. Would that be true, Deb?
Yeah, I would agree with that, definitely. I mean, and what we'll probably see is as the usership evolves, it may well be that the channel at some time gets dominated by more of one type of content than perhaps another. But that's the nature of, it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the community that uses it. So that's naturally going to shape it, really. I think, anyway.
These here are, I think, the ones that are if it was kind of being used at the moment, these would be the ones that have been most recently watched or were being watched, and that constantly refreshes. So it has a kind of live feel when you go to it. Any comments or questions at this point?
Well, this seems very much more another kind of social media rather than a here's my work, please employ me for my great work. Mm-hmm. That's great, I think. I think that's quite clear that that's what it's going to be.
That is its intention.
Yeah.
It can be a bit of the latter.
Yeah, a little bit.
And it could be, I mean, I'm interested to know, and again, I don't know exactly who paid, you know, the advert we saw on Mon TV, supposedly they paid for that. Who got, you know, did they pay a filmmaker to make it? Some of the money went into Mon TV, doubt is going to Mon TV every time it's shown. Is it per click? These are things that we're going to discover as we go along, but there is potentially, if it starts aggregating audiences like Mon TV did, potentially work for people to create those ads.
But is it like a TV station? Is it like going on YouTube? I mean, is there an editor that is? You mentioned the Fluffy Kitten thing. Is there an editor that's creating a program?
There's no schedule.
Right.
So it's not scheduled TV. It is web environment, but I think it's a new hybrid really between scheduled TV and a website. It's moderated. But I mean, this is an interesting point because when we get the Fluffy Kitten video, we don't want to say no. That's not. You know, we're far too high and mighty to show Fluffy Kitten video. But we need to know where to put it. Where to put it? It'll first of all it will go there, I guess, but then it will be categorised somewhere.
Maybe if it's running down Cheddar Gorge, it'd be based in Sunset.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to be literal about that Somerset thing, obviously. And anyway, there's nothing wrong with Fluffy Kittens. No.
As long as Glastonbury tourism back.
It's the most searched for term on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Phil, it does seem to me that there is a revenue potential for it. Either a Google click-through model for some advertising if you wanted to spoil the website with something like that, or local advertisers like the Dr. Chap in Chepstow. But you could extend presumably the same thing here, and that might generate, you know, opportunities for local video people to shoot local adverts and put them up here.
I think there is that
for modest amounts of money, you know, and get access to several thousand or tens of thousands of people if they're watching it.
It's the kind of thing where instead of saying, oh yes, I can do promo for you, it's going to be $3,000 or 10 grand or 50 grand, it's going to be like, yeah, we'll come and do it for you, it's 200 quid.
Yeah.
You know, but if you do 5 a week,
yeah, I mean 30 seconds.
Yeah.
30 seconds web video.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Quid or whatever, and that's fine.
Yeah. Any other sort of comments or questions or thoughts? Is this an idea that you would sort of generally welcome? Yeah.
We've also talked to the developers about being able to stream live events on it too, because that's the other thing. That's what's great about kind of Carlos and those guys, is that actually we can go to them and say, this is what the community is asking for, and that they, you know, they're really enthusiastic about responding to that, aren't they? And kind of pushing the model as well.
They really are. Carlos I think his day job's at Cardiff University. He's a highly technical guy, but very, he's great. But he's got that technical background. And Richard was a feature film producer, and still occasionally is. But he said to me, it's a soulless business, feature films. He said, I want to do local TV. So neither of them, they're not kind of get-rich-quick merchants that we've got in with. They're people that have sort of come to it without that sort of desperate imperative to earn the next five shillings. It's not there's anything wrong with being in that position, but you'd rather not be, having been there. But no, I mean, I think we're in with the right people there.
I know Western Super TV is doing live coverage of events around town at the moment. And presumably, as you say, you can do the same thing with this anywhere in Somerset from that point of view. So.
What is Western's business model?
I'm not sure. I've had informal contact with them
on
Twitter and email and what have you, and an invitation to go up and talk to them, which I need to do now that they're running. I was talking to them before they launched, so I'll go and have a chat with them, I think, and so I've got an open invitation to go and have and see what they're up to.
Yeah, I've spoken to the guy on the phone too, and he seemed really good guy. And Paul Collins, who many of you will know, has been doing some work for them, and I know he's being paid to do that work when he does it. So they're obviously getting some revenue from somewhere, but I don't know quite how that's working.
I think at the moment they're just kind of putting money back into it themselves until it starts to create its own money. I think that's the way they're modelling it at the moment.
Fingers crossed for them. Yeah.
Maybe we should have a little studio space and do a weekly Somerset film slot, you know.
Yeah.
People, and then, you know, to sort of kick it off and to drive it a bit.
Yeah.
You know, a magazine show that's maybe 5-10 minutes long.
That'd be cool.
I think you could cover local bands as well.
Yeah.
Local bands and sport, apparently. Well, this URTV up in, just like find it, just quickly show you. We'll get on with the next bit of the session in a minute.
Film review or something.
Yeah.
This is the one up in Helensburgh, and this is he's really going for it out there. This chap that set it up used to work for Apple, so he's obviously got some pretty high technical skill and marketing skill, and he's got Waitrose. Look, he's got Waitrose. That takes a bit of doing. Pardon?
Waitrose, Helen.
Yeah, but Waitrose anywhere. But it shows it can be done. So there's these different models out there.
The thing about the Waitrose is, and I know Cheddar TV are doing something similar, is that, you know, when a big company like Waitrose wants to build a new supermarket, what they actually want to do is engage with the community first, and so they're using these channels as their route to do that, so that locals feel like they've had a voice on a situation or on a something that's happening in their town, really.
What he said was that this app store thing, because he's got this technical background, and I think there's a team of 4 of them doing this. They've created an app for it specifically, where not only can you view it, but you can also record and upload stuff from it. So maybe that will be something we can do in the fullness of time. There is going to be a part-time post coming up here after April for someone to develop. In part of what they will be doing for us is developing web-based applications. So that might be something. This might be a place for that, one of those applications. Okay, any more? This is really just to kind of let you know about this. There's not a great deal more to say at the moment.